Hello, good evening to all. So in this particular webinar or video, I am going to tell you about the simulation platform for the electronic circuit. So over here, I am introducing a platform which you can find, like if simply you type Falstad Falstad in the Google, you will come to the website, which is this circuit simulator applet. If you click over here, then you will come to this particular platform where you will be able to design any circuit that belongs to electronics, right? And the best part of this is that you do not need any sign up, you do not need anything to pay, and everything is absolutely free, and you will be able to design any circuit of electronics. It may be like, if I show you over here, all the areas, like whether you want to design analog circuit, digital circuit related to op-amps, transistor, MOSFET, 555, active filters, logic families, combinational logic, sequential logic, analog digital devices, power converters, PLL, transmission lines. So everything you can design. And the best part is that over here, like as you can see, these yellow dots, these are the currents, right? Like if I simply show you the simplest circuit, or not this one, but even, or let me design, like if you click over here file, and if I click new blank circuit, so over here I can design a very simple circuit. I will start with a simple circuit. So to design the circuit, we need to click over here, draw, and over here you can see we have different options, like add wire if you want to add some wires, registers, passive components like capacitor, inductor, switches, potentiometer, transformer, relays. So all the components that are there in the electronics are there over here. So if I now simply draw a circuit that involves resistor and the voltage source, so for that I will add one resistor, right? So I click over here, and now simply I need to drag in the way, like again if I do so, simply what I have selected register from here, and now if I click left click, and just keeping the left click active, I just drag the register. I want another register. I again, starting from here, I again click the left button of the mouse, and I draw the another register. Now if I want the voltage source, again I go to draw, and over here, like we have this input and sources. So from here I am going to select this add voltage source. So from here, then I connect this over here, and now these two terminals need to be connected by this straight wire. So for the wire, again I click on this draw and add wire. So it will select the wire, and simply I can connect this, right? And as I connect this, you can see this yellow dots, they start moving, and these yellow dots, they are just descending the movement of the current, right? So you can see positive terminal of the voltage is this, so current is coming out from this positive terminal, and it is just moving, it is just going through the resistor, right? So if over here we have the buttons like the run, stop. If I presently it is run, in the run state. If I click over here, now there is no current in the circuit, means the current has stopped, our circuit is not running right now. So again, if I click on this run button, you can see the current starts flowing, right? With this two buttons, we have the simulation speed, so we can increase or decrease the simulation speed. And this speed, this simulation speed means the timings, right? You can see over here time step, and this t 855 ms. So this is the simulation time, right? So I can increase or decrease. And similarly, the current speed, if I want to increase this movement of the yellow dots, I can do that. Just it all depend on what speed I want. Apart from that, if I this is our voltage source, so if I double click over this voltage source, then a window will pop up, and over here I can change the voltage. Like presently it is 5 volt, I can change it to 50 volt also. So I can give any number. Apart from that, we have this DC waveform, and if I click over here, you can see large number of all different type of voltage sources are there: AC, DC, AC, square wave, triangular, sawtooth, pulse, noise. So suppose if I click on this square wave, so it now and okay, so now this square voltage source is there. Now how I will be able to know whether the square pulse is there or it is simply the DC source? So for that we can display the voltage on the oscilloscope. So for the oscilloscope we have the option, like if I simply click, if I bring my mouser on to the voltage source, and if I right click over here, then an options will appear, and in these options you can see we have this option, view in new scope. This scope means oscilloscope. So if I click on this, it simply display this, right? And over here it is you can see that we are able to see the, or let me increase the speeds. So you can see it is displaying the square pulses, right? So this oscilloscope I can do the settings, like presently, like let me stop this. So presently this one you can see over here, it is mentioning 5 pulse, yellow one it is 2.5 milliampere. So what is happening over here, that this oscilloscope, it is displaying both voltage as well as the current, right? And this 1.357, it is the seconds, that what is the present time after the simulation. So if suppose if I just want to display the voltage, so what I am going to do, I will right click on this oscilloscope, and over here we have the options, properties, and over here we have different option. We can set the vertical scale, we can set the horizontal scale, we can have the option. Of course you can see two options are, the check boxes are checked for this show voltage and show current. So if I uncheck this and click OK, then the graph of this current, it will not be displayed. So if I click OK, you can see now only the voltage waveform is displayed. So in this way I can display, if I now run this, so it is just now displaying the waveform of the voltage source. Now suppose if I also want to display what is the voltage across this register, so to right click and I select this view in new oscilloscope, right? I can also select this add to existing scope, but let me first select this view in new scope. So as I click view in new scope, let me put it in full screen. So as I clicked on this, then you can see we have two oscilloscopes. One is for the register and another for the square wave, right? Now the amplitude, if you look at the amplitude, let me stop this. So if you look at the amplitude over here, it is 5, whereas over here it is 2.5. And as we can see from the circuit that we have only two resistors, 1 kilo, and since both the resistors are of same ohms, so it means whatever voltage is there in the voltage source, it is equally divided into the two resistors. And it is the reason that when the maximum voltage is 5 volt, then across one resistor we are getting only half of the maximum voltage, means 2.5. So it means that this particular simulator is displaying the correct voltage across the register. Now suppose if I want to compare the voltage generated by the source and the voltage dropped across the register, so it means I want to combine these two graphs. So to combine these two graphs, simply I will right click over here, and over here I will right click over here, and we have the option combine. So if I click on this, then it will combine the graph of both the register and the voltage. And now if I click over here, so now it is showing this upper one. Let me stop. So this upper one, it is the voltage of the voltage source, and this one is of the register. If I if I say, if I bring my cursor onto the register, you can see the blue lines are appearing, means the shorter waveform are highlighted, so it indicates that they belongs to the register. If I now bring my cursor to the voltage source, you can see the bigger waveform, square waves, they are highlighted. It means they belongs to the voltage source. So in this way you can see how easy it is for us to analyze our circuit for the voltages or the current that is flowing through the different branches of the circuit, right? Now apart from that, like if I again double click on this, uh, and over here again if I select DC, and let me uh, make it a DC source. Now again if I right click over here I have the option slider. So you note over here that over here we do not have nothing, right? Under the current circuit we do not have, it is blank, right? Now if I click on this slider, so and over here it is simply the, if I click on this voltage, so it is just asking me like what will be the minimum value and maximum value I want. So let me keep this as it is, and now if I click over here okay, so you can see now there is one slider over here, right? And now if I click on this run button, so you can see just if I bring this cursor to the extreme right, then and let me stop it. At this point it is 20 volt, means the voltage source is generating 20 volt, right? And this is 10, means the voltage drop across the register is 10. Now if I run it and bring my cursor to over here, right? And now if I stop, so you can see now it is minus 20, right? It is minus 20, and this one it is minus 10 volt. So you can see what I am trying to say, that we can, if we have a DC source, we can also create a voltage source that we can vary in between the given range. Over here the range that we have decided, I have decided, it is ranging from minus 20 to 20 volt. So in this way, like I can analyze my circuit for different voltages, and that too of the DC, right? So this is regarding the DC voltage source. And again, if over here, if I again click, and now if I select the AC source, right, I can also select the frequency, but let me keep it as 40 only. And now okay, so now if I click over here, you can see now it is displaying the sinusoidal wave. If I right click over here, properties, and then plot, so it is okay, right? So now to after this, if I let me connect instead of this, let me put the capacitor. So to put the capacitor, if I click over here, passive components, and add capacitor, and let me put it over here, right? Now over here onto the capacitor, if I bring my cursor onto the capacitor and I right click, then there is option of slider is there. So if I click over here, it, and over here in the capacitor, it is just asking me about the range, that what should be the range of the capacitor, means this is the minimum one, 1 microfarad, and over here let me select or 50 microfarad, right? And if I click on OK, so you can see another slider appears over here, right? And now if I run this, so, or let me change this one to square, because if it is a square, then the things will be visible very easily with respect to the capacitor. And now let me click on this, and add scope, view in new scope, and now view in new scope, and let me combine both of them. And let me check the properties, if only that is visible, right? Only voltage is visible. Okay, now if you can see, as we know, with respect to the capacitor, because capacitor has the tendency to store the charges, right? It is due to this reason that we are getting this type of the waveform with respect to the square pulse. Now if I change the capacitance, let's say I bring my capacitance at microfarad, you can see at the bottom, and over here the things that is displayed over here for the capacitor, it is 1 microfarad right now, 1 microfarad. So for the 1 microfarad, you can see how the square pulse, the voltage that is dropped across the capacitor, how it is related to the square pulse. And if I increase the capacitance, say to 4.9 microfarad, you can see the voltage that is dropped across the capacitor, the waveform has changed. It is becoming nearby to the triangular, right? So with this, what I am trying to say, that we can analyze the behavior of the capacitor and the RC circuit, capacitor and the resistor, for the square wave pulse, right? So in this way, whatever we are learning in the electronic circuits or the electrical circuits, we can try over here and we can analyze the behavior of the circuit, so that before implementing the actual circuit onto the with the hardwares, we can first come to this, we can simulate over here, and if everything is working properly, then only we will try with the hardware. Apart from this, like if I come to this uh, over here, like you can see, we have the LEDs also over here, LEDs. So we can also add the LEDs to our circuit, so that our circuit we can have visible things, like some LEDs it glows and some does not, like so. And if you click over here, like over here, there is one circuit, let me, yes, this 7 segment LED decoder. So these are some of the examples that is given in this simulator. So if I select this, so it opens this one, right? And now you, over here, the binary combination that is given, it is 0110, right? If I click over here, it is the combination, this binary code for digit 7, so 7 appears. If I click over here, it is F. If I just 1000, it is the binary code of the 8. So this is a 7 segment display, and you can see, like, we can even create this circuit of a complex circuit in this simulator, and the these systems that are available, like over here, if you click on this file, so in the file, like with the new blank, we can create a I select the file from my browser, and you can see now the circuit, like it is the circuit that I have downloaded onto my system, and the same file I uploaded using this open, right? So means whatever circuit we have designed, simply we can download it in the txt form, and the same txt file can be uploaded again whenever we again use this particular platform. We have the option like export as image, so whatever circuit that we have designed, we can export, right? We can take the printouts. This is for the full screen. If I click over here, so this is for a zoom out. This particular, like over here, this WR, these terms, these are the shortkeys means that if I press W on my keyboard, then it means I have selected the option of add wire. If I click R keyword, it means I have selected this register, so that I will be able to add the registers. If I click over here, C, small c is for the capacitor, and this capital C is for the polarized capacitor, right? So it means these are the short keys, and if I press this alphabets onto my keyboard, then automatically I do not need to come to this draw option. straight away from the keyboard I components with the help of this shortkeys, right? With these options I can it is the option with the help of which, like if I click over here show power, so it is also going to display the power of the circuit. You can see now when I bring my cursor onto the register, so on the bottom right corner you can see that P equals to 25 milliwatt is represented. So it is because I have selected this power option, right? If I like over here we have white background, so instead of black background, if I want white background, I can select this option, right? And if I want to disable the editing, it can also be done. So, and over here we have different different options. You can explore all these circuits to have an idea, so that how you can design the circuit. Like this is simply RC circuit, so you can get an idea that how a simple RC circuit can be drawn in this particular simulator, so that if you can then go with some complex circuits, right? So in this way this example, these circuits help you to learn how to simulate your circuit in this particular platform. So this is all from my side. If you have any query, any questions, then you can put it in chat box.